sequel number 130 of the Church of Uganda at 130 years, a celebration. Welcome. In today's sequel, the consecration of Rubaga Cathedral in 1925. If we are celebrating Christianity since its arrival in this country, then there is no doubt that we should also celebrate the consecration of such a great cathedral like the Rubaga Cathedral. In 1879, the White Fathers settled at Lubaga. That is the year they arrived in the month of February. They were the first missionaries of the Roman Catholics to arrive in the country. And so that was the first spot for the ecclesia. The second ecclesia was at Narukorongo in 1884. Then after the Civil War in 1889, they settled at the third ecclesia at Nabunya. Nabunya is at the bottom of Rubaga Hill, near the modern-day Papa Paulo Hall. In 1891, on top of Rubaga Hill, the fourth ecclesia was built, which was bombed by Captain Lubaga during a fresh civil war in Uganda. It was bombed on the 24th of January, 1892. It was the first ecclesia on top of Rubaga Hill. Now let's go back a bit. The second ecclesia on the top of the hill in 1892, where the current Centenary Bank block is situated at Lubaga, but that one got destroyed by an earthquake. And again, let's go back a bit on the third ecclesia, again on the top of the hill, in the same year of 1892. That one got burnt. After all, it was made from mud and a grass-thatched roof. Therefore, let me go back to the fourth ecclesia atop the hill in the same 1892, which lasted until 1894, when the fifth ecclesia was built with solid building material, and that one lasted until 1901. That was the longest living one in as far as the first of the 19th century was concerned. Now, the fifth ecclesia was located at the current graveyard area of Rubaga, and it was not mud, no water, but they used sun-dried bricks. And that one was opened on the 19th of March 1901 by the Mill Hill missionaries who had built it. That was by Bishop Henry Hamlin. Now, the cathedral was not at Lubaga. That's why I'm referring to this as ecclesia. The cathedral was not at Lubaga. The cathedral was at Villa Maria. That was the preferred place by Bishop Henry Stracher. The episcopacy was called Victoria Nyanza, Vicariate. Now, the construction of what you see today began on the 3rd of May 1914. Remember, that was the year when the First World War began. And the plan was a 6-foot broad building by Brother Frero Gilbert, who drew the architectural plan. But of course, it was adjusted to suit the hill and the budget, given the World War that was raging. Brother Joseph Cypren led the construction team, and he used red bricks to come up with a storied building in the Norman style with twin towers. People carried some 2 million bricks on their heads from Narukorongo. At Narukorongo, there was a brick kiln, and those from Kisubi kiln were also carried on ox carts. The fundraising for the construction had the following unique ones. The Mill Hill missionaries contributed a whopping 23,896 shillings of that time. A lot of money, almost 1,000 sterling pounds. Now, the local chiefs, especially the Roman Catholic local chiefs, contributed a whopping 900 sterling pounds, the equivalent. Now, Pope Benedict the 15th, who was in power between 1914 and 1922, sent Italian money called lire, 25,000, a lot of money. And then the French women who did not want to give their names, they contributed 16,000 francs. A lot of money by the standard of that time. In total, 88,000 rupees, shillings, were raised locally. And shillings 400,000 was raised from Europe and Canada, thanks to Monsignor John Forbes, the co-adjudicator from 18 to 1926. You can call him assistant bishop at Lubaga, who had toured Europe and was able to be very successful in raising money. The main altar was the work of Brother W.F. Sylvestre and was made of muvule wood. The stained glass windows were the work of Brother Joseph of the Mill Hill Missionaries. There was made a communion rail and a pulpit, which you may not be able to see today. They have since been removed. But those were the work of Brother Joseph of the Mill Hill Missionaries, and both were removed and never returned, the pulpit and the rail. The consecration of this cathedral was on the 31st of October 1925, and it coincided with the 100th birthday of Cardinal Levi Garrick, who sent the White Fathers missionary to Uganda in 1879. The service of consecration was led by Bishop Stracher of the Vicariate of Apostolic Uganda. He was assisted by Bishop John Campling of Upper Nile Vicariate, the Nsambia Mill Hill Missionaries. He was also assisted by Bishop Joseph Swins of Buloba, and other bishops who were not named. Monsignor Antonio Vignato of Guru Verona Fathers was present, as was another 80 priests whose names were not listed. 200 European guests, led by the Governor William Gowers and the Chief Justice Sir Charles Griffins, attended the consecration. Sir Daudi Chwa, the second, the Kabaka of Buganda, was very much around, seated on a special elevated throne put up in the middle of the church building so that everyone would see him on his throne. The choir was made up of seminarians from Bukalasa and the Katigondo seminaries who had walked on foot from Masaka to sing at the consecration. They were directed by Father Richard Case. The organist that day was Father W.F. Freeley. It was a pipe harmonium organ. In the service, the Magnificat was a solo by Father W.F. Grek, and so Chwa II, in his speech, wondered aloud. He said, "Bana baffe bayimba batyo." The cathedral was consecrated and dedicated to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and Mary, but many prefer to simply call it the St. Mary's Cathedral. And now lastly, to the wonderful two towers or twin towers. On that Sunday of the consecration, the 4 bells from France were fixed in the 2 cathedral towers, 2 bells in each of the tower, and they were blessed by Bishop Swins of Bukoba Vicariate. Each bell had a name and the way it rang. Bell number 1 was called Leona Yolanda, donated by Alcofe. Its clings mentioned the words, or was mimicking the words, "The Lord, and oh, hear my voice." The second bell was called Odetta Renata. Its donor was anonymous. We don't know him. Now, it mimicked, when it clanged, the words, "If you hear this voice, do not harden your hearts." Bell number 3 in the next tower was called Francisca, and it was donated by Major Kiane. Its clinging mimicked the words, "Come, my children, listen to me. I shall teach you the fear of the Lord." Bell number 4 was called John William. It was donated by Bishop Forbes. Now, its clinging mimicked the words, "I praise truth. I call the people. I assemble the clergy. I weep over the dead. I dispel darkness. And I adorn festivities." Brethren, that was the consecration of Rubaga Cathedral on the 31st of October 1925. As we celebrate Christianity, 150 years since its arrival in Uganda, why not? It's a cathedral that still stands, for you have seen in this audio video the pictures of how it looked at construction, how it looked after construction, and how it looks today. May the good Lord bless us all.